Dear students, welcome to the next lecture of electrical measurement. Now, in the last lecture, we discussed the three classes of errors, and those were gross error, systematic error, and the random errors. Okay, so these were the different types of errors. So we have discussed their causes, that what are the causes of this type of error and what type of error will be classified under which category, and their remedies, that how to reduce these type of errors. Okay, now we move on to the next topic in this error measurement. Now these errors, they may either be expressed as absolute or percentage error. Okay, so error may be absolute error or relative error or percentage error, you can say. Okay, relative or percentage error. Okay, so what is this absolute error? First of all, we'll discuss this. Now, in any measurement, obviously you know that there is one true value, which is the expected value, and one is the measured value, that is that value which we measure by the measuring instrument. Okay, so there is you can say one actual value. Okay, or you can also call it as expected value, or you can also call it true value. So whatever name you should choose for it. And there is one parameter which is the measured value. Okay, so if you just denote this absolute error by this small e, and let's suppose we denote the actual value as x and measured value as y. Okay, so this absolute error will be the difference between this actual value or the true value and the measured value. Okay, so this will be the difference between the true value, that is x, minus y, since y is the measured value for it. Okay, so let's suppose you take the case of a resistance and its true value, let's suppose it is 50 ohm. Okay, this is its true value, and when we measure it, then we get something around let's suppose 45 ohm. Okay, so the difference between this actual, that is 50 ohm minus 45 ohm, this is the 5 ohm. So 5 ohm is the absolute error in this case. Okay, so this is the meaning of the absolute error. You can also denote the error in the form of relative error. So the relative error so relative error will be nothing but the ratio of this absolute value or the absolute error. Okay, so absolute error, that is this e, whatever the magnitude of this e will be, so this e divided by the actual value. So you have denoted the actual value by x, so this becomes the relative error. Okay, Or if you want to denote it in percentage form, so you just multiply it by 100. So you get the whatever data you will get here, that will be the percentage error. Okay. Now let's suppose we take an example. The actual value of the voltage, any voltage across a resistor is, let's suppose, 80 volt. Okay, this is the actual or the true value, whatever you can call it. However, the measurement gives a value of 79 volt. Okay, so when you measure it, you get 79 volts. So this is the measured value for it. Okay, now the question is, calculate the absolute error and the percentage error. So you can calculate this absolute error if you want to denote it with this E sign. So this absolute error will be nothing but the difference of true value minus measured value, that will be equal to 1 volt. Okay, or you have to obtain the percentage error, then the percentage error will be again just this E, that is the difference of the actual and measured value over the actual value. And since you have to calculate the percentage error, so you can just multiply it by 100. So if you don't multiply it by 100, so this portion only will become the relative error, and if you want to obtain it in percentage form, so this will come as 1.25%. so this is the percentage error. So I hope you got the difference between the absolute error and the relative error. Now we move on to the next term that is generally used. Okay, limiting errors, or it is also called guarantee errors. Okay, now what is the meaning of this limiting error? Now we know that the choice of an instrument for a particular application, it depends upon the accuracy which is desired. Obviously for different applications we have different instruments. Okay, so depending on the accuracy, the level of accuracy which is desired, so the make or the design of the instrument will somehow be changed. Okay, so because if you want an instrument that is highly accurate, okay, that is highly accurate for very important applications, so you have to invest a lot. Okay, but if you just want an instrument with a fair degree of accuracy, okay, then it is not economical to use expensive materials and skill, okay, that is required for its manufacture. Okay, so depending on the level of accuracy, okay, because for a high degree of accuracy you have to use expensive material, and you should require the highly skilled workmanship also. Okay, so the economical production actually of any instrument, it requires the proper choice of material, the design, the skill. Okay, so just in order to assure the purchaser of the quality of the instrument, what the manufacturer do, the manufacturer actually guarantees a certain accuracy. Okay, and in most instruments the accuracy is guaranteed to be within a certain percentage of full scale reading. Okay, now before just going further, I would like to add a point here where I have discussed this absolute error and the percentage error, I would just like to add one point, that this percentage error, okay, so this is many times is also written or is also given in the form of accuracy. Okay, so sometimes it is written that the instrument is 1% accurate. Okay, so that will mean that the instrument is having the 1 percentage error, 1% error. So here we have just calculated the percentage error to be 1.25% in this example. So we can also say that this instrument is 1.25% accurate. So this is the common, you can say common language or the common word we can, which generally is used for the error. Okay, so this point I just wanted to add. Now you come back to this topic of limiting error. Okay, so I was discussing that the economical production of any instrument, it requires the proper choice of the design, the skill or the material. So that is why what the manufacturer, obviously the instruments they have to be manufactured at a place. So whoever the manufacturer is, he actually guarantees a certain accuracy, and by defining a certain accuracy means that he actually gives a value of you can say the error. Okay, so most instruments, they in most of the instrument the accuracy is guaranteed to be within a certain percentage of full scale reading. Okay, so in, you can just write it down that in most instruments the accuracy is guaranteed to be within a certain percentage, within a certain percentage of full scale reading. Okay, so that means the components, they are guaranteed to be within a certain percentage of the rated value. So that means the manufacturer actually, it has to specify the deviations from the nominal value or the actual value of the particular quantity. So the manufacturer specifies the deviations from the actual value, from the actual value or nominal value of a particular quantity. Okay, so the limits of these deviations from the specified value are called limiting error or the guarantee error. Okay, so the limits of these deviations, the limits of these deviations from the specified value from the specified value are called as limiting errors. Okay, limiting errors or guarantee errors, both are same thing. Okay. uh, so let us take an example. For example, the nominal magnitude of a resistor is 100 ohm with a limiting error of plus minus 10 ohm. Okay. So actually the manufacturer will supply this. That means uh, this is 100 plus minus 10 ohm. Okay. 100 plus minus 10 ohm. Suppose the manufacturer supplies you a resistor with this specification. Okay. So this is the absolute error which I just explained previously to this limiting error. This is actually the absolute error. So what will it just mean? That the value of this resistance will be in between 90 to 110 ohm. Okay. So 90 means 100 minus 10, and this means 100 plus 10. Okay. So the value of this resistor will be in between this range, that is 90 and 110 ohm. So the manufacturer already gives you this specification. He actually tells you in advance that it is having this much error in it, or this much accuracy rather you call it. Okay. So and many a times this error is also called the tolerance. Okay. So this is one more term which can be used here. So this is the absolute error. Now the manufacturer sometimes can give the value in this absolute mode, or he can also give the value in percentage form. Okay. So if he supplies this in this form, this is the absolute limiting error, or if he can give you the value in percentage form, then it becomes the percentage limiting error. So let us suppose for this example which I have just written down here, this 100 plus minus 10 ohm. Okay. If we have to express this error, this absolute limiting error, that is 10 ohm, in percentage form. Okay. So we can just represent it. You can first calculate the relative limiting error for it. Okay. So relative error you already know. So this will become the relative limiting error. So whatever this magnitude is, that is 10 ohm, divided by the true value, that is 100. So this is plus minus 0.1, and for obtaining the percentage limiting error, you can just multiply this 10 by 100, which is this 0.1, by 100. So that will come as plus minus 10%. Okay. So this can also be written down as 100 plus minus 10%. Okay. So this 10% will indicate the percentage limiting error. Okay. This will be the percentage error or percentage limiting error. Okay. Or it can also be called the accuracy or tolerance. So whatever in whichever mode you want to call it, you can just call it. Normally tolerance or accuracy is commonly used by the manufacturers. Okay. 10% accuracy or 10% tolerance. So Now if you have been given the data in whichever form, you can very easily calculate the uh, or express the given data in another form. Okay, so if you have this absolute limiting error, you can calculate the percentage limiting error, or if you have the percentage limiting error, you can calculate the absolute error. Okay, now let us take one example to understand more about this errors. Now it is given that a voltmeter having a range of 0 to 150 volt, that is its scale. Okay, it has a guaranteed accuracy of 1%. So guaranteed accuracy of 1% of full scale reading, guaranteed accuracy of 1% of full scale reading. Okay, the voltage measured by this instrument is 75 volt. So this is the measured value, voltage measured. So the instrument is having a scale of 0 to 150 volt, but it is measuring only 75 volt. Okay, so it indicates 75 volt in its meter. Now the question is, calculate the limiting error in percentage. Okay, so you have to calculate the percent limiting error. This is the question. Now we will proceed with the solution. Now since it is given that the error is 1% of full scale reading, and what is the full scale reading? Full scale reading is 150 volt. So you have to calculate the magnitude of the limiting error. Okay, so limiting error, or you can call it, you have to calculate the absolute error. So it will be 1% of 150. So you can just directly multiply it by 0.01. This will be the 1% of 150, so it will be 1.5 volt. Okay, now the voltage measurement which this instrument is measuring is 75 volt. Okay, so for calculating the relative error, it will be this 1.5, that is this absolute error, divided by 75 volt. Okay, since it is measuring the 75 volt, so that will be equal to 0.02. Okay, so now when you have to calculate the percentage limiting error, you can just multiply it by 100. So percentage limiting error that will be 2%. Now there is one important thing to notice from this example. Now what it is, that this it is given in the problem that the meter is guaranteed to have an error of this 1% of full scale. Okay, or you can call it that the limiting error is 1% at the full scale deflection of 150 volt. That was given in the problem. But you can see that when the meter reads 75 volt, and this 75 is actually the half the full scale value. Okay, this is the full scale value 150 volt, but the meter is reading half that full scale. So in this case the error becomes 2%, that is the twice that at the full scale deflection. At the full scale deflection it is given as 1%, but at half its value, that is at 75 volt, the error becomes 2%. So this percentage limiting error will be more if you still measure a smaller voltage. That means, let's suppose if you make this 75 volt as 37.5 volt, that is still you make it as half of this 75, that will be 37.5. So in that case the error would become 4%. You can very easily calculate, just 1.5 divided by 37.5 into 100, that will become 4%. Okay, so if the meter would have to read 37.5 volt, the error would become 4%. So that means that this increase actually in the percentage limiting error as the smaller voltages are measured, it occurs because the magnitude of the limiting error is based upon the full scale reading of the meter. Okay, because it is given in the problem that this error is actually given in terms of the full scale reading, and this becomes a fixed quantity since it is given in the full scale reading. So that is why in measuring the lower voltages the error is increasing. Okay, so what we infer from here is that the percentage error will increase as the voltage being measured decreases. So while selecting the different instruments, you have to take care with regards to its range, that the values which you have to measure, it should not lie in the lower half or the lower range. Okay, so this was one point which I wanted to explain. So this was all we have to discuss in this lecture. In the coming lectures we will see some more things related to this error analysis. Thank you very much.